This tutorial is directed to those who are bilingual and are going to help us translate an English time-coded transcript into another language for the hopes that we'll see the Lord save people and encourage the saints in other countries to follow harder after Christ. So if you go to translate.iwillbehonest.com, you get the most recent SRTs there. So if you've already, say, all the ones in a current language are translated, then you can keep watching here for the newest SRTs. And if you see one like Life is a Vapor, Live Like It, that you want to translate, you click there. You can Control S and save that, or you can copy and paste. To copy, you hit Control A. That's to select all, and then Control C is copy, and to paste it into a document is Control V. So that's Control A, C, and V to select all, copy, and paste. So I'm going to go ahead and close this. We're going to go to SRTs to download and translate. So if you just joined the team and you're just now starting to translate, you're able to view a document, which is a Google Doc that is consistently updated, where we have all of our completed time-coded SRTs currently. These are all the ones we have. As we have more people typing transcripts and time coding, this is gradually going to increase with new content. So what you have here is the title of the video, how many minutes it is. We have the minutes just in case you know you don't have a lot of time. You want to get a 3-minute video, a lot easier to translate that than, say, a 22-minute video. We have the SRTs right here, and then we have the language. So as you can see here, this is saying work in progress, that Maria is currently working on this, and it's a work in progress. This means done. That means this is done in Chinese. So A Call to Wonder by Paul Washer has been translated in Chinese and is done. That's what we're looking at here. That's what that means. So if I'm a Chinese translator and say I see that, Completely Forgiven in Christ by Kevin Williams is not translated, it's not a work in progress, then I'm able to click here. I can Control S this and save that. My method of doing this is selecting all, copying it, opening a notepad, and pasting it in there. That's how I do that. So that may work for you. Sometimes when you open a notepad just by saving a .txt, the formatting is not correct. So you may have to use select all and copy and paste it in there. So I'm going to close that. Once I've got that in my notepad, I want to select the title, and I want to go back to this page right here. If you scroll down, you have an area where you're submitting a work in progress order. You're basically notifying us of the SRT you're translating, that we can then update this with a work in progress order so that we don't have duplicate translations. So you're going to paste the title in, select your language, put your name, you can just put your first name, and your email. This is so we can contact you to see how an update is. Say a month down the road we have a WIP, and well, a WIP meaning a work in progress, and we haven't heard back from you. We'll see if you're still active or not. If you're not, then we can take the WIP away so someone else is able to start that translation. So we'll hit submit, and then an administrator is going to get that, and they're going to manually edit this document when they get that update. So we're going to go ahead and go to this notepad where I have the translation. So the first thing you want to do is you'll want to go ahead and hit enter, and you can type title, and then you'll type this title in Chinese. So let's get some Chinese characters real fast. Copy that, and we're going to put that right there, and then we're going to go down and we're going to hit meta, and we'll just paste that. We'll use those as our fill-in characters for this document. And then the tags, I would basically put a word, another word, another word. That's basically going to help us when we put it on YouTube to have tags that will make it more search friendly. So the first thing you're doing is you're translating the title, the meta, and the tags. And then you're going to go into the process of translating every single line. And what I recommend you do is you'll leave the English there, you start typing it in your language, in this case Chinese, and I'll just paste that a lot of times. This will allow you to go through the whole document and then go back and proof it. And then once you've proofed the entire document, you would actually delete the English. So once you've proofed a line, you would delete the English, delete the English. So when we get the document, what we'll have is the entire thing in Chinese, where we can easily strip all of these out of the document and paste them into another document, and then we have a completed Chinese SRT, which we're then able to instantly put on YouTube after it's been proofed again. So some people have been sending us transcripts where it basically has English and then their language, which that's fine if you don't have a lot of confidence in your translation, because it'll make it easier for the other person to proof it. But if you've got confidence that there's not a lot of errors, then go ahead and delete the English. That'll save time in the end. And once you've sent this to translate at I'llBeHonest.com, then we're able to send that to the main translator of the language you're part of, and they're able to proof it. Now, you may be the main translator of your language or the only translator, and therefore all the weight is on you, so may the Lord help you to have accuracy. The good news is once we have an SRT up, we're not going to hard code it to the video first. We're going to attach it to the YouTube video so other viewers will be able to help proof it for errors, and we can easily edit any errors that we have. Once it's hard coded, it's kind of all said and done, and you can't easily edit the document. So as you're going through the lines, what you don't want to do is you don't want to delete the P tags. Here a P tag is, for example. So if I translate this, I want to make sure and have a P tag down there, and then when we get the document, you still have the P tags intact. This again will help us generate a paragraphs tags so that when we can render a PDF very easily. So there we go. Leave the P tags in. So that's pretty much everything I think you need to know for translating the document. I guess another thing to realize is this. Let's scroll up here. Here are sentences. He is chastening the believer here in a compromised, half-hearted state. For example, someone may come in here and say, well, I'm going to translate he, I'm going to translate is, chastening, the believer, here. Every word I'm going to do word for word, which nothing's wrong if that makes sense. But what if you translate the word half and then hearted? Well, is someone in China going to understand what that means? So what we're trying to do here is get biblical points across. We don't want to confuse people. So as you're translating, if the word half-hearted, if you translate that literally, and that makes no sense, then don't translate it literally. Go ahead and translate it in a way that it's going to make sense, that we're getting that point across, especially with people like Tim Conway. He's using a lot of analogies and different things that may not make sense for a Chinese-speaking person. So in that case, go ahead and translate as best you can to get the point across. So once we've finished translating this document, let's just pretend all these lines are in Chinese. I'll hit File, Save As. I'm going to name this Chinese, Completely Forgiven in Christ. We'll save over the other document. Now, you're going to want to hit the encoding here as Unicode. Now, if you're not using Notepad, I don't know where this option will be, but you want to make sure you're saving it as Unicode. We'll hit Save. Unicode characters will allow for the Chinese to carry over, and it won't just be a bunch of random characters that don't work. So once you finish translating the document and you've saved it, encoded as Unicode, then you need to email it. Now, if you've registered at Join the Team on translate.I'llBeHonest.com, you've been assigned a lead translator, and you've been given their email. So you're going to email what you finished to them, they're going to proof it, and then they're going to send it to translate@I'llBeHonest.com. But if you're the only translator for a language, then you're going to just email that to translate@I'llBeHonest.com. You're going to put the name, the language, then the name, and then you'll go ahead and attach the file, and just drag that in there, and it's attached. And then I can go ahead and email that off. And so it's important that you go ahead and register here. And when you submit your form and you're registered, then I'm easily able to give you the lead translator's email so you can forward all your stuff and questions to them. And then they'll take the finished stuff and they'll send it to us at translate@I'llBeHonest.com, and then it'll get put live on the site. So that's pretty much all I can think of right now as far as the steps to translating. If anyone has any input, please email me at james@I'llBeHonest.com and let me know. But again, you can just download something from here, submit a work in progress order, then translate line by line. We'll get it proofed, we'll get it up on the internet, we'll generate a PDF, and we'll pray that the Lord will save people through this.